What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? We're a day early. Trying to manifest a lot of stuff myself right now. So whenever anybody tunes in, we'll see. Don't expect it to jump up too much because there's not much going on and nobody expects a live on a Sunday night. But I thought we could do maybe a practice group coaching thing since everyone keeps asking about it. Whoever comes in, we'll do a practice group coaching, and then I'll set up an actual one that we could do maybe on the weekends. Some things I've been trying to manifest and broke all my own rules. We see how quick things can switch from great to bad to horrible to returning it all the way back. Muscle man, how you doing, Hershey? We're doing the live a day early just because I've got so much shit going on and things in my own head I'm trying to fix and manifest and put together. Oh, nice. Sounds like a fun day. Hope that everybody's been doing stuff for themselves this weekend. That sounds like something you're doing for yourself and enjoying. I'm good. Trying to wish that I didn't have an affirmation that came about. I had one which you guys have, I think you guys know because I've told it before, where it's like I would like to understand more about stuff to manifest. Sorry, I'm by airplanes, but I wanted to manifest, become a better manifesting teacher. So I guess part of that bridge was Mary Kate this. I didn't know that, but part of it was me being thrown into a no contact situation after a fight, which was all me reacting to 3D and thinking of old circumstances, which brings up the point of the negative past only exists when we let it exist. So that's more SP stuff. Then financial things came into play, and pretty much without saying, because you're not supposed to say, but sometimes I will say what I'm manifesting. There's a whole series of things where it feels like my world's turned upside down. So I'm trying to do that, trying to flip my negative circumstances and do it live for you guys. Some eliminators have me sleeping so hard. That's great to hear. Oh wait, trying some Mary. Oh, I thought you were talking about the makeup stuff, Mary Kate. So Mary Kate's another. Did have a couple really good sessions this week. Yeah, see, I'm trying to do money too, just because I would like to own my own place, but I don't know where I'd want to live. I guess I'd still stay in Chicago, but I'm trying to figure out, do I? I mean, you guys have seen the condo, and it's like I put a lot of work into it, but now the circumstances have come up where that living situation may no longer be possible. There you go. You don't need no makeup. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going through shit, but I'm like, sometimes the best way to learn for yourself too is by teaching. And that was a quote that Greg Plitz said, and I took that one to heart, but I never really understood it until I started coaching. The circumstances with the condo have arisen where my uncle would want it back, but he's living with another family member, and then that family member does not want him there no more. So either he'd have to come back and live there with me, which I'm not doing, and it's like, okay, so I would be either his roommate, which is not happening, or I pay rent, which I got no problem with, or I put the money down and buy it. But buying a house or a condo or anything is a big purchase, and if I'm buying property, I'd rather buy a house where, I mean, I'm at my parents' house now. I'd rather have a pool, a backyard, and bonfire area, and stuff like that. Yeah, so I've been asking for ways to like become a better teacher, and I guess the way God and the universe has seen it was throw me out like this into where I have every situation now. It's finance, job, um, I do have job market. I feel is very easy. I got a very strong self concept on that. I've got 2 offers now, and potentially a third one this week. But buying a house makes it kind of hard for me to make a transition in a job. So that's a circumstance, and I'm excited in using this channel as visualization, where I'm going to come on here and tell you guys how I've successfully manifested through all this. But I forgot how it was to put SP up on this pedestal because I've been so good at it for so long. And then recently I did that, and then I started slipping into negative thoughts and then wound up in no contact after a really great time. So I guess now I have to go back to being the student. But through all of this, I'm learning more lessons and then doing it with you guys, which I guess that's the uniqueness of this channel that people like. I never really understood why people watch this channel that much. Um, but I've had success in this, and I'll still, like I said, I still doubt it at times. But then I see the success, right? As every time I'm about to doubt it or quit on it or everything. I mean, we all have that experience. We want to doubt, quit, and give up, and then boom, there it is. And so I started thinking, I was like, well, how do I go full time into coaching? How do I become a better coach? And then it's like all these circumstances have presented themselves. So, like I said, like I always say, turn everything on a positive. I think it's better to coach from this standpoint and to teach from this standpoint, because sometimes when you get to that point of success, you forget how it is to slip up and have your mind in a weaker state. Just like similar to like the type of work I do. So basically, it's like a mechanic for a building. So whatever breaks in the building, I fix. As an apprentice, you don't know anything, and you're wondering how to learn to do all this stuff. Then all of a sudden, somebody picks you up. Like the other guys will start teaching you, and you learn. But by the time you learn everything, and you've learned it your own way, and you've become good at it, it's hard to teach somebody because to you it's all second nature now. But through some kind of like case of amnesia, well, you get to the point too where it's like you know what you're doing is wrong, and then you still do it in 3D anyway. But then my affirmation is very true: if you can't fuck this up, because things haven't been completely fucked. But I guess that's why it's a little bit of a different channel for people to be able to see the overcoming of stuff. And everyone keeps saying the realness and like, oh, how you act and like are just real with people. It's like, yeah, I'll tell you every time I fuck up and fail. I'll tell you when things don't go right. I'll show the good and the bad. Like that's why I never got about social media. People always showed only their success, but never showed the real stuff of them. Like I often wonder this about a lot of the manifesting coaches. It's like, why don't they talk about the negative? I get it because you don't want to acknowledge it. Whatever you give attention to grows. But if you're coming from the standpoint of teaching, you should be showing people where you fuck up. So I'll show you guys every single thing I fuck up on and answer every question on it and tell you why it took me 5 times and where I could trace my mind to it. So right now, it's like because other stuff started collapsing, it's like you get one, same thing. This is how we have to flip this whole script into a positive thing, where if you notice, I noticed this for the first time 2 years ago when I was trying to manifest my first SP that I failed at. Because I didn't have her, I felt like everything was horrible. Next thing you know, the house that's been in my family for generations winds up burning down. My grandpa almost died in the fire. Then my uncle gets dementia from alcohol and goes to the hospital, and they're going to put him in like an asylum or whatever you would call it for like people who can't think no more. My mom almost dies at the time. She got very sick, and the doctors even told us to prep for the worst. Then my job was at stake at that time as well, and a whole bunch of stuff. My whole life started. Oh, and then I tore my pec. So everything was collapsing at that time because I was focused on SP. Now it's like this time it was the condo stuff, and when I was focused on that, then I started remembering bad stuff about SP, and then I started bringing stuff about work, and then a fight at work, and then bringing all this stuff in, and then it goes to the point of, oh, you're going to get fired, plus our job's closing, plus now the SP's got no contact because she's mad about something I said, and it goes through all these different, now everything's collapsing again, and I've seen this story before. What was the thing I did when my turnaround the first time it happened when everything was collapsing was I started going to the gym. I said, I'm just focused on me. And no matter what all these outside circumstances are, I'm just going to get my body in as good a shape as I can. And I prayed a lot too. I was trying to manifest, but I was relaxed in it, just trusting it all to God. And I was actually just going through like more of a religious manifestation where I just prayed and surrendered it all up to God. And I kind of just sat back and relaxed. So that's the plan to go from now, because when I did that, that's when Lily walked into my life, which is known as my SP. She walked into my life and things really turned around and got a lot better. And then the job got better and everything else climbed up, but it all started with me focusing on me. And then I learned the SP manifestation journey, and that became only the sole point. And money was no problem, and everything else was no problem. Then finally a living situation came in that I could afford, and all these other things arose that changed my life. But now it's like, somebody said this the other day, and I believe it was another manifesting channel. It's not your greatest fall; it's your greatest like jump onto a trampoline to project yourself up. So, from these low states at rock bottom, where you got to jump really hard on a trampoline and push it all the way down to shoot yourself up to new heights. So, that's just the way I look at it now. And once again, too, I do remember the no contact thing being very easy. It's way easier this time around, even though I had broke a few times. But why did I break? I had nothing to do. I was sitting around with nothing to do. Today I went to Chicago, had a Comic-Con, so I went to Comic-Con with my brother. Yesterday I spent the day with my brother. We tried to make some comedy skits, but my mind was kind of out of it. But I stayed distracted. We caught up and talked about plans for the future and this and that. On Friday night I went to a dinner for my union. And I took the positive and gratefulness. I was out of work early that day. I had an easy day on Saturday. I had a great session on Saturday with a client. So I started looking at all the positives that came out of it. Exactly. No, I get that we're co-creators in this reality, and I came out here to meditate and stuff like that, but I couldn't. I tried the entire day. Yeah, it doesn't turn out well. So sometimes when you surrender, it's like you've done the work and say, I trust you to fix it, because I don't know what else to do. Like at this point for my SP, yes, this time it was me fucking up in the 3D and in the 4D. And to make up for it, starting a fight. After we just had a great birthday weekend for me, I sent her edible arrangements, some texts that were coming from peace, but they were me trying to get something out of it. And all this stuff, it was like me chasing the 3D, and I just keep getting left unseen and ignored and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, is this it? Am I done? Was 6 times the most? I mean, I didn't really care this time if it happened, and it did, and then you caught too many feelings. And I don't believe we're supposed to be like robots where it's like we have no feeling towards it. Yes, we could have feelings. I mean, we're humans having a human experience, and they say that the world is God putting us here to have an experience. Like if you watch a movie and everything goes great for the character, it's like cool and idealistic, but there's no entertainment. There's no, okay, I'm at my parents' house, she's making dinner. So the point is that like we're here to have an experience. So the sadness, the downs, you don't know ups without downs. So okay, this is a down, and without something to do, your mind is all over the place. That's why I'm like, okay, let me do a Sunday Night Live. I don't know if someone else is having a hard time. Maybe they could pop in here and feel better, ask questions. Or for myself, it keeps me distracted. Or divine beings having a human. Yeah, exactly. I mean, even after this, I'm probably going to take a walk. There's a church nearby the house where I grew up, and go over there just for some meditative prayer. I spent this most of this morning in SATs, and it was good, but it was like a lot of fighting. And then I had a lot of like nightmares last night. But usually it's like you fight through the nightmares, but the more you fight them, the more it persists. Like Neville talks about his one dream where there was like a demon or something that he fought. He said the more he fought, the more it laughed, the stronger it got. And there was an angelic being there, and that thing called it Mother. And when Neville started wishing good for the demon, it shrank and shrank and shrank and it disappeared. But the more he fought it, the bigger it got. That's giving attention to it. If you ignore whatever you don't want, it goes away. And I am thankful for the experience I'm going through now because, like I said, it's just going to make me a better teacher for you guys and able to relate with some of the stories more because sometimes it's like I remember what to do, I know the instructions, and I know it's worked for me, but then at certain times it's like, how would you deal with it? What were your thoughts exactly? It's like, I don't know, I've changed my subconscious so much, but then sometimes it will sneak back up and now I'm here again and it's like, okay, I know it can be done. I know there's no limit. I know we're limitless beings. I know it's God's great pleasure to give you something without doing anything for it. So just relax. And the big thing is too, in the 3D, I don't talk to very many people on my 3D. I cut out a lot of negative people. Instead of changing them mentally, I just cut out a lot of people I found were negative. And pretty much the mystics are the only people I've really been talking to. I come on the live and make the videos, I read the comments, chat back in the comments, do my sessions, talk about comedy with some people I do comedy with. And other than that, my world is like very small. So that's one of the things, expand your world, but don't get too expansive if you don't want to. Oh, we have a guest. And the cigar's dead. We'll finish off the cigar and coffee, and then I'll have dinner with my family, and we'll do a part 2. Do 2 lives in one night. Because tomorrow there's going to be more stuff that I really don't want to do. Do you guys have questions or anything you're going through? I kind of want to do a practice for, what's that thing? Everybody keeps asking for group coaching, and I didn't want to do it because I felt like it's not as personal, but if that's what people want to do, maybe this could just be the practice one. There was also like I didn't want to make a live this week or make a video because a lot of times, like I do tell you guys, I do feel like a letdown as a coach because I don't know, sometimes it's like seeing my own faults makes me think I'm not as good of a coach, but then you guys always tell me, keep me motivated, and then I read a lot of comments about my videos keep people going, and it's almost like David Goggins, the motivational speaker, says that he cannot not do what he does every day now because people are relying on him. And obviously I want you guys to be self-sufficient in the end, but if there's always going to be someone watching and there's always going to be someone needing help, then maybe that's my purpose, because I feel more fulfillment out of this than I ever did from acting or comedy or any of that stuff. Like I almost don't even want to do that anymore. My ideas now go right to, this would be a good video, this is a good lesson, blah blah blah. I act as if my SP is going to call me, tell me about her day, and because of that, and because that's what she would be doing it for her, sometimes I feel crazy. And I close my, yeah, no, that's the same thing I do too. Once you've been doing this long too, it's like, it calms you down. But then sometimes throughout the day, that's when you get into the panic state and the worrying about, oh, are things not going to happen? Because you're interacting in the 3D world and you're only seeing all this. Tom Kieran talks about this world only being like 1%, I forgot how he called it, but it's like 99% mental. And if everything happens there first, it happens, it's happening now, and there's all these different paths. So it's like, why choose to think the negative one? I get it when we have negative histories or past with someone or something or money or whatever the situation is. It's very hard to change it at times. But we have to just relax and trust the process of it. Because like I said, even I broke a little bit today and tried to do stuff in the 3D to get a reaction in the 3D, and like Neville said, it never works, and I can attest to that. It doesn't, unless it's really inspired action or you feel it. Sets are a state akin to sleep, so it's like a very good like meditative state where you're sitting down and you're visualizing a scene and you just keep replaying it. The best example, one of my favorite examples, is Joe Dispenza talking about when his back was broken and he kept reassembling his back, in his mind, and then if he fell off of it and like didn't do it the right way, he would go back to putting it together again from the beginning. So it was the same thing I did with my SP today, was like picturing something. I think it's hard because of the resistance of my old story, thinking that what I'm trying to accomplish with SP this time around is something I haven't heard. It was to be in a relationship with her saying I love you. So it's like picking out that scene and then fighting against it, because it's like, yeah, I know you can manifest it back, but there's still like little areas. And for me, it's like, yes, I know, like, because I turned down 2 other dates this weekend, and I was like, and I was going to go on them too because I was mad, but I was like, okay, if I'm living in the end and I'm dating SP, I mean, I've been with other women while manifesting my SP one other time and it worked, and I've gone on dates another set of times. But for me, it's like, okay, if I'm really living in the end of what I want, then I'm not going to go out and do that. So let's remember how we said lag off on the SP stuff. Maybe this time, maybe it's the time to confirm. Yeah, maybe. It's just that's hard because that's what everybody always asks, because I guess that was the video that made this channel popular, was manifesting SP back 5 times. And like I said, I've been done with her before, and then now it's like, I feel like if I don't, it's more of an ego place, I guess. It's like, I feel like if I don't have her, then I let the channel down. Even when I feel like I could do better and there's other things, it's like I get tired of changing it to a degree. Tired of putting the effort in. Like Joe Dispenza says, he'll never put effort into an SP. I still have dreams with her in them. My subconscious has been impressed. That's perfect. Yeah, I was able to do it again, and like, I think it was like the first night when we went no contact again. Boom! I jumped right back into it, and it's like right there, and it was a really good, solid dream. And then when I started feeling resistance and I went into a nap, it was a nightmare. But then I just woke up and went right back in, and that's how you fight it, by just combating with only good stuff and not the negative. Yeah, no, that's perfect, Hector. But you have to get back to you. You started this with you, and you worried about us. Get back to you, all of you. That's a very good point, yes. It wound up like, I guess it is. That's a good way to put it, too. Just like I always tell you guys, worry about yourselves on stuff, but then I start worrying about the channel. I'm trying to do what's best for you guys. And in the end, it's like, I think what I fell in love with my SP is she's the physical manifestation and representation of manifesting to me. Like, that was what really proved it to me that all this stuff works. Seeing that crazy sequence 5-6 times unfold. I think to a degree it also feels like if things don't work out, then manifesting doesn't work. But it's not that. It could be sometimes that your heart has truly moved on to something else. The universe is telling you to get back to doing this for a genuine reason that you started this. Yeah. Well, I started this just to give some advice, and then it went into people wanting coaching and trying to do it for free, and then like winding up having so many people that I had to charge for it. And then now to the point of every day I make a video just to check in on people. What's up, Mark? How you doing, brother? Hey, Christina, what's up? Thank you, Timeless. Yeah, I think it's hard to admit that maybe it wasn't best for me. I'm glad to hear that, Christina. That's good. It's funny because I was just thinking about you and Nick the other day too. Not too shabby. And then you guys actually came in and we're in the live right now. And I wound up doing it at a different time, which might be an easier time for you guys. Not too shabby, living in the end state done. Lots of uni work. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully it's going smooth. And like I said, I didn't go to college, but I'm pretty sure it's towards the end of the semester. So hopefully you're almost done. Oh, nice. So what, you're making videos of it now, Mark? That's all she wrote on that. We support you desiring to do for us. However, the relationship needs to be healthy regardless of the dynamic. Yeah, I get that. Oh yeah, that's right. You do CGI. I was thinking you're posting studying or whatever. If I remember, Mark, is that more for video games or for is that more for video games or for movies? Because say if it's movies, we got a collab. I was like, what's a nice shot? I forgot to do the thing. Hey Veronica, how you doing? Oh, nice. Well, then maybe you could do the CGI for the horror film that I want to make. It's gonna be like Ash, but not Ash. I'm gonna stay on for about 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna run have dinner with my family and then come back out here and pick up the live again. But if you guys got any final questions or anything, hopefully we all could jump back on. I didn't know that there was gonna be a dinner this fast. But I stopped over here. Like I said, you gotta keep your mind busy and do what's right for you and your family first. I'm working on manifesting money now too in a new job that has been my... That's awesome, Christina. See, that's one of the things I'm working on too. If you guys missed it, I'm working on... It's like every aspect of life right now. What's up, H? How you doing, brother? They're entwined now. Stranger Things and The Mandalorian was done. And really? That's awesome. Not focusing on SP. I'm about to eat In-N-Out. Oh, I love In-N-Out. I had In-N-Out last weekend. Yeah, when I was in LA. That's one of the other things too. I'm manifesting, whether it will be with SP or not. I want to travel a lot more, and the thing that makes that hard with a day job is you only have so many days off a year. I'm manifesting, working on it to make it, like I said, where I could do this and make videos and comedy stuff full time. I've got all the merch stuff already set up. I want to make a few more for the Mystic page, and then just kind of like build a page all together with everything, and then where people could just buy stuff. And I want to try and, like, the website I'm using doesn't have the wristbands, but I want to do wristbands which say you can't fuck this up, which is an affirmation I truly believe, and it's helped me a lot. It's just a nice reminder. If you can't jump into statues, look at your wristband or whatever. And I got some hats and all that stuff, and I want to put all that stuff together. And then my next goal is something else I'm visualizing, is like traveling out and collabing with other manifesting teachers, or meeting some of the people out there. Like, there's people in Chicago. I've had a couple clients from Chicago already, and I was thinking maybe do like a meet and greet or an event or something like that, like live motivational events and things like that, and just being able to travel and always be on the move with all this stuff. I think that's kind of the life I would like to live now. It's like I always had a plan when I was younger. I thought it would be around filmmaking and stuff, but I'm thinking of incorporating filmmaking into this. The Mystic Convention, yeah, that's my end goal. And H, yeah, send your questions. Like I said, I'm gonna get off in a couple minutes, but then be back on in like 30 or so. I'm just gonna have dinner with my family. Yeah, where I would be able to do that. And like, I love LA and California. I was just out there. That's always a place where I thought I would live, but as I got older, I began to like more of Chicago, where I grew up. But I'd want to be on the move more, and I'm just focusing on making this where we can make a video every day, and we're very close to 1,000 followers, so that would be ad revenue. I don't know how, I know it's not like it used to be with YouTube, but where the ad revenue and stuff would pop up, and then selling the merch and all that stuff. Those little things to keep me going. And I saw this guy on TikTok too doing something where he was like, he saved up enough money, got some donations, and then he went traveling to do little collabs on stuff, which I thought about reaching out to him and manifesting, working with him on some comedy and film stuff. So there's a whole lot of big things out there, and it's like right now he's got to do what's best, like Hershey said, do what's best for you and do what's best for me. But I knew getting on here would make me feel a little bit better with, I was feeling very overwhelmed, and stuff like that. Off lately, I've been full of rage. I was last night too. I had a lot of like dreams about fighting and stuff like that too. H. Thank you, Christina. I big time need cash. Coming to the end of my studies and getting worried about bills at the end of it. Yeah, that's how I kind of am too. Getting worried about the cash situation. So manifesting that more than so right now. That's perfect. Picture. I haven't been doing it, but it's like picturing counting money. Then the SP. Maybe pictures of laying in bed next to SP, feeling SP right there as you're counting $10,000 out. You got the Mr. Burns sounds, yeah. Assuming the worst in people, for example, I keep assuming that my boss is holding stuff. Well, I had that same one too. And this is what I was saying earlier, H. It's like one thing. It started out with the boss, then it went to almost getting fired, then it went to me looking for new jobs. I'm getting all these offers. Then it went to possibly losing the condo, which is probably going to happen, which I don't want to assume it, but I'm assuming something better is coming. I'd rather have a house anyway. And then went to stuff with me and SP, and now we're in no contact, even though we had a great weekend last weekend. But I started a fight over something in the 3D, so it's just, I had that rage where I was just starting stuff all over. I don't, like, with my family, we even had a fight with my family right now. That's why I came over here for dinner, just to talk with them. And my mind is all over the place, so I'm not guilty. I'm not like the perfect manifestor person, but like I said, we come here for a reason to experience all these different emotions and figure out how to transcend all of them. I don't smoke weed, but when I'm drinking lemon balm tea and lavender, I just feel more relaxed, less anxious and stressed. Lemon balm is supposed to decrease stress. Is that like, I don't know what lemon balm is. Is it just like something you buy at a store or something you make? Release the hounds. And we have lots of unsaid tension. I love weed. Then I have fight with the apartment people. I have to forgive them all. Yeah. Release the tension, allow the flow of energy. Yep. It's a herbal tea. See, I don't know all that. It's too healthy for me, it sounds like. But I would definitely try that. Something I was thinking about for the channel too. This will be the last thought I give before I go in there and then get back out here. But I was thinking about doing a thing where I heard of this really good psychic, and I've always been curious. People give me questions about tarot cards, and I only say take the good things that you hear from tarot cards. If it's not, just say it's fake. But then when it's something good, say it's real. I wanted to go to one who's like a medium who speaks to spirits, because I'm interested in all aspects of spirituality and all like the weird and unknown stuff. And what I've just kind of fallen in love with was the manifesting aspect of all of it, because I've seen the results from that, and that's cool, and it's your direct like line to God, I feel like. So I've been having fun with that, and I would like to do that though, and like, I don't know if I could film it or just come down here and talk about my experience with that. Weed's an herb too. Must be healthy. I've only smoked twice, both times with SP, but I know I wasn't inhaling the first time. It was like a cigar, and then until she started kissing me and then pushing it in, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, now I feel it. But I'm gonna go eat this dinner now. If you guys got more questions, think about it. I'm gonna get back on in about a half hour, and hopefully this will be what we're gonna do instead of tomorrow morning. I should have even noticed, but like I said, my mind's been all over. But I always think about you guys in the channel and the Mystic family. It stopped me from getting into the U.S. Will they drug test you before you come to the U.S.? Or you just got caught with it on you? Because if you come here, there's plenty of it. With resentment, we end up stressing ourselves. Yep. It's like a video I made the other day. If you let someone else take up space in your head, you give them the power over you. Oh, you got caught at 21. No, I know you're in Scotland. Oh, you got caught in Scotland, so it's a bigger thing out there, maybe. Oh, I think that's the same thing here. If you have a certain amount, you get in trouble for it because they think you're selling. All right, I see everybody going down, so I'll talk to you guys in about a half hour, all right? Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk soon. I don't know how to turn it off this way. There we go.